Started on some of the second parts of this Say Hello to Summer. We will be creating some of these letters down here. We already did the typeface at the top, and we're going to start on these rays for this sunshine right here. All right, so what I want you to do is just go ahead and first create that first triangle. I'm going to get a nice bright color. And, oops, there we go. I'm going to just trace a triangle shape right here. You know, the edges are a little bit pixelated. We are guesstimating sort of the size of this, but once you have created one, you don't have to draw it again. There's multiple ways that I could do this. Now I could simply hold down Option, drag it over at the corner there of the bounding box, rotate it, place it back into place. Another thing that I could do is go up here to Object, Transform, Rotate, and I could type in the coordinates. Now there are 12 rays, you know, when you divide that by 12 into 360, you can kind of get the degrees on that, or you can just play around with it like I am. So if you think it's 30 degrees, you can copy it, play around with if that rotation works. The other thing that we can do is I can select, this is a fairly new tool here, it's the Rotate tool. And I have to, once this is selected, and then I select the Rotate tool, I need to pick an access point about halfway through this circle here. I'm just going to put it above this nose. I'm going to click, and I'm also going to hold down Option plus Shift. If you're on a PC, it's probably Alt. So I'll hold down Option plus Shift. And then, you know, once again, if you're not sure what those coordinates are, you can click Preview and type in. So if you think it's 45 degrees, it's not, it's 30. So, you know, you can kind of just click it in to see what that would be. And then you can copy it so it does not use that particular one that we've already drawn. It copies. So I'm going to hit Copy and see how that's brought that over. Now, I'm not going to deselect anything. I'm going to show you the best quick key ever. And that quick key is Repeat. And whatever you have just done before you unselect anything, you can hit Command D. Try Command D. Hit Command D multiple times, and we're just going to go around this. So you don't have to copy these, draw these. It's very fast. Remember that? Command D, Repeat. That is one of the best quick keys ever. All right, so now let's get started on this sunshine. So we're going to have to Pathfinder this. Let's start out with just doing that basic outline of the sunshine. And you can use your bounding box as well. I'm going to use a stroke so I can see what I'm doing. Just sort of fit it where the original was, as close as you can. I mean, it's off just a little bit because it's quite pixelated. Then the other, so here's one way that I'm going to suggest that we draw this. You can draw it however you like, that it works out. But I am going to try what I think would be a quick option. So I'm actually going to trace down the center here of these sunglasses. The main thing is that this has to be all Pathfindered when you're done. So have it Pathfindered. All right, so I'm just, well here, let me show you how to, really quickly, I can give you a lesson how to reflect this. And make sure that that side has enough curvature. Okay, so what I could do is hold down, select this, hold down Option plus Shift, you know, and then I could reflect it. So earlier I used Object, Transform, Reflect. Here I'm trying out that rotation tool has a reflect as well. You're just clicking on it for it to work. Either one is fine. So I've got it reflected. And then let me show you how to join paths. I don't believe we've talked about that before. So I'm going to have to draw a little bit at the top, but at the bottom I can simply join two paths. So I'm going to hover this over that one. And remember, we always have Command Y. If you want to get it directly on there with that preview mode, it's kind of like an X-ray mode. All right, so now that I have these two right next to each other, I'm going to go ahead and make this second version here a different color, the copy version, so you can see what happens. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer there. And I'm going to select both of these by dragging my mouse across. And then we're going to use a new tool we haven't used before. It's called Join. And if you look right underneath the shape tools over there on the left side, the next one down has a shaper tool and a pencil tool. Let's use the Join tool there. Let's try that one. And we're going to draw around these 2 points and see how it changed it from purple at joined. It's one path now. So that's how we're joining it. And then I'm going to go up here to the top, and I'm just going to have to pick up and draw and finish. With my pen tool, I'm going to pull that handle, and smooth these two together here. Let's see what it looks like. So now that I have this drawn, I'm going to add some stroke to it. You can use your stroke window, or you can just go up here to the menu here for stroke. Ooh, that's really, really big. I'm going to go down to a little bit smaller, and I'm just going to fit that around those sunglasses here. So maybe just a little bit down. I'll go down just a little bit more. All right, and I'm going to make sure that this sort of tucks around here. And you can also, if you need to, pull any of those handles, but for the most part, I think this will work fine for what we're going to do here. I'm going to select this fat line we've just made. I gave it over 4 points there. I'm going to go to Object, Path, Outline, Stroke, and now it has a line, it has traced on the outside and the inside. I'm going to use these separately. So one thing I could do is I could just select with the Direct Selection tool this outer shape here. I'm going to hit Command X, and that's going to cut it. And then I'm going to paste it in place. So I did Command X to cut. And now I'm going to go to Paste in. I could do Paste in Front, Command F, but I'm going to do Paste in Place. So it's going to paste it in the place it was before. I love this command key. I use it all the time. Shift Command V. We're going to paste in place. And I'm going to just change this one to a different color, and I'm going to just outline it so you can see what's going on. So I'm going to change from fill to stroke, and it's quite different there, see? All right, so I'm going to change this one here to just a stroke so we can see what's going on. I'm going to take this shape right here. I'm going to select this one that is the magenta outline, and I'm going to select this full sunshine. I'm going to make sure that sunshine's in back. If yours is not, make sure you go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. I'm going to select the sunshine and the outer rim of the sunglasses, and I'm going to minus front in my Pathfinder, so I cut it out. There we go. And now I have the sunglasses started, but I need to create this shape for one of the lenses, and then I can just copy and paste it to the other side. So all I have to do is trace this one side, and I'll probably change the color here in just a second so you can see how that looks. And I'm going to finish this off here. I'll change this to blue. Now I'm going to hold down Option plus Shift, and then I can use that reflect tool here that's underneath the rotate if I want to. By clicking once, holding down Option Shift, should give me a menu. Let's see if it's. There we go. Hold down Option. It'll give you that menu. It'll show you a preview. You can decide if you want to horizontal or vertically. When you click the preview, it'll show you. I don't want to copy it. I just wanted to reflect it once. And pop it into place. So now I'm going to change this from a fill to a stroke so you can see what's going on. I'm going to hold down Shift to select all three of these. And I want to minus front. So the two that are in front, these lenses, will pop out. So the goal of this project here is a pathfinder everything, so it looks really nice. Of course, I'm going to draw this. There's no reason to pathfinder this reflection shape here. Make this whatever color you like. Once you draw that, you're just going to hold down Option, and then I can go to Object Transform. That's another way to reflect it. If I want to reflect it, you can click the preview button to see which way to reflect it. So I'm going to change this sunshine to outline. So you can see what I'm doing here for a moment, and I'm going to pathfinder this mouth. So I'm just going, this is a pretty easy shape to draw. You know, you may just have to, you could reflect it like we did with the sunglasses, you know, and join it, but it is such a quick draw. I think it's probably faster to just draw it. There we go. And so once I have that drawn, you know, if you need to make any quick changes before you permanently pathfinder it, that's fine. You want to smooth out any edges. Make sure everything's even. I'm going to make this a different color so you can see what's happening here. All right. So I'm going to change that yellow from Photo Stroke so you can see what I'm doing. I'm holding Shift to select. Now we're going to use a group selection tool, because if I hold down Shift and select this whole thing, there's too many parts to it that have been segmented. It will cause some issues. So I'm just going to use the group selection tool. I only want to select this bottom part and this part. Let me just go show you what happens. It's sort of, if I had selected it all, this has already been pathfindered, so it may not be happy. If I selected the whole thing and I hold down Shift to select the mouth, see how it takes that top part away? It's because it's already been pathfindered. So you have to just select the group that I want to work with that has had too much action there. So I'm going to use the group selection tool, select both the lower part of the sunshine and the mouth, and pathfinder. It will work fine. Okay, so now we're going to move on to how to do the summer letters.